Hello race fans and welcome to the Porsche Esports Sprint Challenge Great Britain, live here from Donington Park. We're about ready to go racing for two 30-minute sprints with two different kinds of Porsche here on the iRacing simulator. It's Peter Mackay here in the virtual commentary box, taking you through all of the action today here on RaceSpotTV. The drivers are already straight into qualifying for the second round of the championship. Let's have a look at the overview of how things line up for today. The drivers in the middle of just a two-lap sprint qualifying that they have 10 minutes to complete, then straight into two 30-minute races, and of course here in the Porsche Esports Sprint Challenge Great Britain, a fixed setup, so absolutely level playing field. The pro drivers, they go out in the very raw Porsche GT3 Cup, the new 992 generation, and the AMs, they use the Porsche Cayman GT4 Club Sport MR with all of the wonderful ABS and traction control driver aids. Some brilliant prizes thanks to the good folks at Porsche Cars Great Britain. Driving experience at the Porsche Experience Centre in Silverstone. The pro drivers, they'll get to get their hands on a Porsche 911. The AMs, well, they'll get their hands on a Porsche Cayman. Two fantastic sports cars and a great prize up for grabs here across the next 4 weekends. So, after one round of racing, how did they look up? Well, in the pro class, in the Porsche 992 Cup cars, it's Will Eatwell who sits on top of the standings at the moment, with Jack Southfield there in second, Sam Jordan in third, Seb Hawkins in fourth, and Dan Hedgley sits in fifth position. In the GT4 class for the AMs, it's Adam Holloway who got away to the perfect start, with Graham Brown in second, Oliver Ettridge in third, George Cullinan in fourth, and Dan Blake rounds out the top 5. Good to see Johnny Elia in there as well from the Porsche Club of Great Britain. We kicked off at, well, an iconic British venue, the home of British motorsport, Silverstone Grand Prix track 2 weeks ago. We're here at Donington Park, so we go from the very flat start. We head to Snetterton in 2 weeks' time, but Donington Park, a real driver's challenge, and is going to put our pro and AM drivers alike to the test. Just 2 flying laps for the drivers, and if you break track limits, definitely the discussion topic of 2023 in motorsport, you break track limits, your lap will be automatically deleted by the iRacing server. The iRacing.com simulator, one of the leading simulators now available in your very own home, so all of the drivers taking part on their own simulator rigs at home. It's all equipment publicly available and has really opened up motorsport to a whole new audience. So great initiative from the folks at Motorsport UK and Porsche Cars Great Britain putting in the support, and we even had World Esports Day yesterday, so very fitting to go racing here today at a virtual Donington using the full Grand Prix layout, which was extended in here for motorcycle Grand Prix racing back in the day. The motorcycle riders weren't so polite about it to begin with, but it's become loved over the years. Dan Blake looking to put a time on the board here in his number 27 FR2 Porsche Cayman 718. Over the line he comes. Can he get a time on the board? He does. 134.849. The Porsche Cayman class for the AM drivers. Leighton Austin, car 33, trying to put a time in there as well as he comes down towards the Fogarty S's, the chicane here. Hard on the brakes, down the gearbox, PDK gearbox of course in these Porsche 718 Cayman GT4 Club Sports, just the same as you would get in the street car. So Oliver Ettridge, top of the timesheets in the AM right now, 0.3 of a second ahead of Porsche Club of GB member Gianluca Elia, or Johnny Elia as he's known. And Will Eatwell is your top driver in the pros with a gap of 0.3 of a second over Sam Jordan, who in turn holds 0.4 of a second over Jack Southfield. So some bigger gaps than expected in the pro category. Over the line comes Leighton Austin. Can he figure up there in the timesheets? No, not as yet. So of course only 2 fast laps here for our drivers. And if you don't get a lap in on those 2, you're starting at the back of the pack. And in just 30-minute races, well, it's not a great amount of time to forge your way to the front of the field. Adam Holloway goes to the top of the timesheets then in car number 81 in the AMS Eatwell, still on top of the shop in the 992 Cups, as Kieran Sharp goes to 3rd in the Porsche 992 Cups. There we are, first of our 911s. The 911 in its 60th anniversary year, the 75th anniversary of Porsche this year. So a very happy birthday to Porsche, or happy anniversary I should say, to Porsche. Thortulo coming around Goddard and back on the power, using that rear engine traction to catapult towards the line. What can he do? 130.598, 130.631 is the best that Thor can muster. That puts him 7th place in the pro class. Now, for those who joined us 2 weeks ago, Sophia Redpath has been moved from the AM class to the pro class, so a change of car for her as well. So quite a lot to get used to there for Sophia, but Sophia, very, very strong racer, so it will not be a challenge beyond her, that is for sure. Graham Brown to the line. Does he improve from 7th position? No, he does not. So, just under 4 minutes left in qualifying for our drivers. Now, they get 2 flying laps that count, and they can use the rest of the session to practice if they so wish. Second flying lap, don't have that information available to us if this is his second flying lap, or indeed if all of his flying laps are done. A little bit of a wiggle there coming up the hill towards Coppice out of McLean's, and then hard on the power. This Porsche Cayman 718 GT4 comes in about 100 kilograms lighter than the equivalent street car and runs a 3.8 litre flat 6, and the Manti Racing package on there as well. Coming down into the Melbourne hairpin, trying to brake nice and true and straight, clip apex then, and up the hill for Leighton Austin. Looking nice and smooth so far, really leaning into those anti-lock brakes, just trying to get it woed down. Very nice indeed. Then smooth, hard on the power. Let's see what this lap time's going to be for Leighton Austin. Hopefully it's one that counts for grid position. 134.2 there for Leighton Austin. That puts him 10th on the grid in class. So just under 2 minutes and 50. Who is going to line up on the front of the grid? Well, Eatwell with the number 54 car, he looks like a pretty unassailable advantage right now with a 128.421. But what can Sophia Redpath do in the 03 car, the very jazzy painted 03 car? Over the line she comes. She's 7th quickest right now, 1.7 seconds off the pace. But I think 4th row of the grid, if Sophia can stay there, I think in her first race in the pro class she'll be pretty chuffed with that one. She comes down Craners. No anti-lock brakes in that car, no traction control either on this specification. You do see them racing in the Porsche Carrera Cup North America with ABS installed, so it can be retrofitted as an option. You sometimes see the endurance racing versions of this car running with ABS, but in this, guys, this is full Carrera Cup Great Britain or Super Cup spec if you like. No anti-lock braking, so if you just push that brake pedal a little bit too aggressively, it will lock up. So we may well see that in the tense moments in the pro class running at those Porsche 992 Cups. The AMs, they're running in the Cayman 718 GT4. So multi-class racing, quite a short lap around here at Donington Park. So is traffic going to be part of the conversation over a half-an-hour race? I suspect it might be about 5 seconds a lap difference between the two cars. A little bit more power in the 911, circling around just under 500 horsepower, about 30 or 40 more than the Cayman GT4 Club Sport. So qualifying ticking over, and it looks like Will Eatwell and Adam Holloway are going to be our respective class pole sitters. Congratulations to them, and with fairly significant margins too. But we'll take a look at the grid now for the first race of 2 today here in the Porsche Esports Sprint Challenge Great Britain. 30 minutes racing coming up right now. Will Eatwell and Sam Jordan will start on the front row of the grid with Jack Southfield and Daniel Sedgley on row 2. Then it's Kieran Sharp and Sebastian Hawkins. Starting on row 4 will be Sophia Redpath and Thor Tulo with Nathan Fox driving the Porsche 992 Cup machine. Then it's the AMs in the Caymans. Adam Holloway and Oliver Ettridge are your front row there, with John Higgins Jr. and Gianluca Elia, Johnny Elia on row 2. Then it's Dan Blake and George Cullinan. Starting on the 4th row in the AM class will be Graham Brown and Adam Grevison. Then it's James Foster and Leighton Austin, with Adam Locke and David Michael Nichols rounding out row 6. Then row 7 for the highly populated AM class is Toby Andrews, and Christopher Humphreys rounds out our 14-car grid in the AM class. So standing starts here in the Porsche Esports Sprint Challenge Great Britain. So very important to get that good launch and win that run down towards the opening corner here, Redgate at Donington Park. Critical corner, and we'll see who's going to win that run down to there. Car 54, Will Eatwell, will lead us away from pole position. The revs begin to rise, the lights coming up on the gantry, ready to go racing. Green, 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 we're racing in the Porsche Esports Sprint Challenge Great Britain. Great getaway there from Will Eatwell in the purple 54 cars. They make their way down towards Redgate for the first time. It's a little bit of hip and shoulder there, getting very aggressive in those front few, but whoa, a few cars off in the background. I think that's Thor Tulo off the road onto the grass. I think Sophia Redpath caught up in that as well. So, move for the lead now. Big move for the lead there. Will Eatwell, he's had to give best in the lead of the pro class. Meanwhile, the Caymans, they filter in behind, not actually that far away from the tail end of the 992 class. So it's all kicking off here as they head through McLean's and then up towards Coppice for the first time, then ducking in there, clip the apex on the right hand side, and then be patient on the power. 3 wide coming out of Coppice there. It's all going on as they head down toward the Fogarty S for the first time. Big move going up there, up the inside. Whoa! Oh dear, you got to be careful through there, and you've got to be careful not to cut the circuit, because you will get a slowdown penalty, which is administered by the iRacing service automatically. So Daniel Sedgley making moves forward. He's up to 4th. So Jack Southfield, your leader, who leads from Will Eatwell right now by just under 0.4 of a second. So Southfield from Eatwell, 1 and 2, and they're starting to break away already from Sebastian Hawkins in 3rd. But Eatwell wants that move back again. He wants those points, he wants those prizes. Up the inside he goes, so the 54 of Will Eatwell regains the lead as Eatwell and Southfield making a breakaway at the front. Meanwhile, it's Adam Holloway who leads the way from Oliver Ettridge in the lead of Anne in the Caymans, and John Higgins Jr., son of iconic, legendary Legends racer John Higgins. Watch out for him. He knows how to race in close hand-to-hand combat. Johnny Elia, good start from him as well, in 4th in the number 6 car for 11/10 Racing. So half an hour around here at Donington Park. It's a fair old way, and of course the drivers have got to do it twice in this race meeting. Down towards Fogarty S as they go then for the second time. Eatwell leading from Southfield. The gap now up to just 0.6 of a second as Southfield, as he's starting to lose the scent now of Eatwell as they come through the Melbourne hairpin. Then hard on the power, really coming up that hill is where you see the true, you see the true characteristic of the Porsche 911. The engine hang out just over the rear wheels, and that gives a great traction advantage over other sports cars. That's what made the Porsche 911 such a good rally car in its early days before the invention of four-wheel drive and rallying. Fastest lap of the race for Will Eatwell then. So he leads by just coming up for a second now at the front of the field. So John Higgins Jr. in the number 5 car, that blue and white machine, trying to chase down Oliver Ettridge. Just about a second back on Ettridge there, just at the top of your shot there in the orange and blue machine. John's father, John Higgins, raced for the Burnett Motorsport team, a really strong team, Legends team from Scotland. But already we've got a little bit of traffic. This is one of the recovering Porsche 992 Cup machines, and Higgins leaves a little bit of the door open, but doesn't get the politeness in return, that's for sure, as the Porsche 992 Cup comes barging through, trying to make moves back towards the front of the field. So car number 29, Daniel Sedgley, right in the thick of it there. He's in 5th place right now, trying to put pressure on the car ahead. That's number 19, Samuel Jordan there in the black and yellow machine. But Eatwell now getting into his stride at the front of the field. He holds a gap of 1.5 seconds from Jack Southfield, who in turn has a second back to Sebastian Hawkins. This isn't a circuit where we really talk much about the slipstream of the car in front. It's just there's just so much going on at Donington Park that you really don't need to think about that. In other circuits like Monza, Red Bull Ring, Le Mans, you might well talk about the advantage of the slipstream that you can get from the car in front. But here, Donington, not really a consideration as they come up towards McLean's. Always a cunning overtaking spot, actually. We've seen the British touring cars. John Cleland used to love that move up into McLean's, as does 3-time champion Ash Sutton. So 24.5 minutes to go. The drivers settling themselves in, and in these Porsche 992 Cup machines, they are on edge machines. No anti-lock braking, of course, so that you can just, if you just pinch a brake, it's very, very easy to lock them up. And of course, getting back on the power again, there's no traction control there either, so they are very, very much a driver's machine. Eatwell, he's really getting into the stride now. The gap now over 2 seconds at the front of the field. Eatwell leading from Southfield, whose gap is staying fairly steady back to Sebastian Hawkins, who is kind of leading a 4-car train here, battling over 3rd place. Meanwhile, in the AMS, Adam Holloway making a great start to his day, 1.2 seconds ahead of Oliver Ettridge in the number 57 car. And already a little bit of lap traffic to worry about there. In fact, no, it's not. It's one of the recovering Porsche 992 Cup machines trying to get back and going. That's Thor Tulo after a difficult start to the day. So I think that was actually Sophia Ridpath in the multicoloured machine making her way through a few laps ago on the Caymans. There's Johnny Elia, car number 6 for 1110th Racing, a racing team that compete both in the outdoor world and the virtual world in the Porsche Club of Great Britain sim racing series. And Johnny Elia put in big heat now on John Higgins Jr. as they come up towards Coppice, and Johnny Elia trying to find a way by and putting really lots and lots of heat now on Higgins as Higgins goes to the defensive and then crowds Elia out to the edge as they go into the Fogarty S's. So John Higgins Jr. isn't going to give this one up easily. But Johnny Elia, he's a determined driver. He'll be trying everything he possibly can to try and get a move done there and get up onto the podium. So at the front of the pro class, Eatwell continues to just stretch that advantage. He's just really into his rhythm now. The gap's up to 2.8 seconds. Make that 3 seconds to Jack Southfield in second place, who the gap is staying very steady there between Southfield in second and Seb Hawkins in third place. A little bit tighter at the front of the AMs, Adam Holloway and Oliver Ettridge. They are about 1.6 seconds apart at the moment. Then, second further back from them, it's this battle here. John Higgins holding on to third for now, but Johnny Elia really trying to hustle Higgins into a mistake. That's not going to be an easy thing to do. Particularly in these Porsche 718 Cayman GT4s, they're such a confidence-inspiring package. You can really lean on the anti-lock braking system. You can lean on the traction control if you wish. They're a really nicely balanced car as well, mid-engine car, which many people who have driven a Cayman love that mid-engine balance. Meanwhile, the number 29 car there of Sedgley looked like it had a little bit of damage to the rear. Now there's been something kicked off here because Sebastian Hawkins has dropped back from third to sixth. Now, what has gone on there at the Melbourne hairpin? So number 15, Sebastian Hawkins, all of a sudden from being a handful of seconds away. Let's see what happened. This is a replay of the start. Thor Tolu gets into it big style with Sophia Redpath, I think that was, in one of those brightly coloured machines. So, car number 15, Seb Hawkins, what happened to him? He's got Kieran Sharp right behind him now. Sam Jordan is up into third, Sedgley up into fourth, but Hawkins has come a cropper there, somewhere. But no such issue for our leader, Will Eatwell. He's now up to 3.3 seconds at the front of the field. Right, great work from our production crew. So, oh, there it goes. Yeah, that'll be Sedgley getting straight into the quarter panel of Seb Hawkins. He will not be happy about that. Nice flick turn, though, must be said. So, yeah, Seb Hawkins will definitely be a bit upset about that one. A little bit of a sloppy one there from the 29 car of Daniel Sedgley. Now, we do have stewards who watch the races, but all penalties are administered after the race, and the driver who feels they are aggrieved from an incident, they do have to submit their protest in order for an incident to be looked at. So that will be up to Sebastian Hawkins to put in his protest, or indeed the number 29 of Daniel Sedgley if he felt he was aggrieved. I think that would be a hard argument to make, but it is at his wish to decide if he wishes to do that. It may well get chucked in the bin straight away by the stewards, who would be a race steward. Not an easy task, a thankless task. Oh, there's a little bit of a bump and barge there as Gianluca Elia just nudges into the back of car number 5, John Higgins. So, got to be wary there coming around the final corner. It's a very tight left-hander at Goddard's there, so just nudging into the back of John Higgins Jr., who carries on unperturbed. So coming up towards half race distance, 18.5 minutes to go here at Donington. Half an hour stint. You're going to be you really are quite hard on the tyre here at Donington Park, really leaning on the right hand side tyre, then on the left hand side tyre. Lots of changes of direction as well, and long fast corners, so it is a little bit more tricky for the tyres. Of course, Michelin tyres fitted to both these Cayman GT4s and the Porsche 992 Cup machines. You'll see them in the Mobil 1 Super Cup with the Michelin tyres, and indeed most Carrera Cups around the world on Michelin tyres. In fact, I think all Carrera Cups now running on the Michelin tyres. So if you're not wondering what on earth is happening to John Higgins' car there, just blinking in and out, we are resting. There's one of the really cool things about iRacing is that everyone can race completely in real time. So all of these drivers are at home right now on their own home simulator, and they race over the internet. And occasionally, if you get a little stutter in the internet, a little break in the internet connection, the cars can blink occasionally. Now, John Higgins, he will be completely unaware that that's happening. It's a little bit like someone who snores. They don't know they're doing it, but it's a little bit irritating to all of those around them. So for Johnny Elia, that will be a little bit distracting. However, if you get a too big break in the internet, it basically picks the car straight out of the server and your race is over. And that's pretty much our sim racing equivalent of an engine failure or an electronical fault. So it's easy done. So you got to make sure your internet connection is stable. Most drivers, or all top drivers, will plug into their internet router rather than rely on the wireless signal. That's a really good way to steady out that signal. So the gap coming down now for the gap between second and third. Oliver Ettridge in the orange machine being chased down by John Higgins Jr., who's really getting into it now in that white and blue number 5 car, and he's bringing Johnny Elia with him. So we're going to get a good fight here for second place in the AM class, but 1.4 seconds up the road from Ettridge. The orange car there in second is your leader, Adam Holloway. In pro, well, it's the status quo. Will Eatwell, fastest lap. He is leading by a very strong margin indeed. Up to nearly 4 seconds is the gap back to Jack Southfield, who in turn actually now has to have a very keen look on his mirror, because Sam Jordan is running him down. There's now only 0.7 of a second between second and third place in the pro class. And we're only at half race distance. We head into the second part of the race. The tyre will be starting to wear and concentration starts to fray a little bit as battle on here. And this is for second place. Oh, Sam Jordan gets physical with car number 64, Jack Southfield. Whoa. Jack Southfield just swerves across on the straight. This is getting a little bit too heated for my liking. Whoa, called me old-fashioned, but that was physical there. Number 19, Sam Jordan, all over the back of Jack Southfield. Southfield being super aggressive here, covering it right, covering it left, and Jordan trying to find a way through. And is he going to get the run here as they head down towards the Craner? This is surely one line through here as they head down towards the old hairpin. That's surely a... Oh, number 19, Sam Jordan has to back out of it at the last moment there. Through the old hairpin they go. 14.5 minutes to go, and they're playing for keeps here for second position between Jack Southfield and Sam Jordan. And immediately the gap is up to 6 seconds at the front. Will Eatwell, he is checking out. But this battle between Southfield and Jordan is bringing Daniel Sedgley into play. There he is at the back of shot in that white, pink, blue and yellow car. So game on here for the podium positions in the pro class, but seems like Southfield has just rallied a little bit and been very strong in that second half of the lap. And number 19, Sam Jordan, have got it all to do, but my goodness me, Southfield was not wanting to give up that position in a hurry. That is for sure. Wowee. And they very nearly tangled together and both ended up off the circuit in what was a fairly stiff defence from the 64 of Jack Southfield. So, number 19, Sam Jordan for Carl Motorsport will try and rally again and try and build another challenge for second position. I think they're all more or less resigned to the fact that Will Eatwell is well and truly gone at the front of the field. That gap is now up to 7 seconds. It's a demolition job at the front of the field in the pro class. In AM, not quite as shall we say safe. 1.6 seconds to Adam Holloway. In fact, make that 1.5 seconds from Adam Holloway to Oliver Ettridge. Then another 1.5 seconds back to John Higgins Jr. So the gap now, Ettridge is responding now in second place in AM, with John Higgins Jr. trying to chase him down, but can't quite get it done. Number 19, Sam Jordan now getting back onto the case of Jack Southfield. This is going to be another exciting one. Round 2, ding ding, here we go, between Southfield and Jordan. And Southfield will be very aware. He'll see the delta coming down, and physically he'll see Sam Jordan getting bigger and bigger in the mirror. Round the very slow first gear Melbourne hairpin, and then up the hill then for another left-hand hairpin here at Goddard's, right down to bottom gear, and then back on the power again. You just see a quick glance there of the 4th place car, 29, Daniel Sedgley, with a bit of damage to the rear. You don't want to get too much damage there, because that's of course where the 4-litre flat 6 engine is on these Porsche 992 machines. These machines built in the little town of Flach near Weissach at Porsche Motorsport, hallowed ground for Porsche lovers all around the world. So can Southfield hang on here? Can he keep Sam Jordan at bay? Jordan looks very determined, just drives it in deep there a little bit into McLean's, and up the hill now towards Coppice, braking up the hill and then up over the crest. The right-hander trying to carry as much speed on to Starkey Straight, and then the brakes for the Fogarty S's. Carl Fogarty, what a wizard he was around here on a World Superbike. Many wins. So coming up towards 10 minutes to go, 2/3 of the race done, and this is your tight battle now. Second place, these points really matter. Big prizes on offer. The top 3 in Pro and the top 3 in Am all win a day at the an experience day at the Porsche Centre in Silverstone. A fantastic test track there with a full flight of Porsche vehicles. The Pro drivers, they will win an experience in a 911, and the Am drivers win an experience in a Cayman. Brilliant place to go. Of course, all owners who buy a Porsche brand new are invited to the centre to have a day in their chosen model and get to know its capabilities with the fantastic group of instructors there at Silverstone. So car number 19, Sam Jordan, just where can he find a way past here on Jack Southfield? Southfield now seems a little bit more comfortable in his defence, just running his line and trusting that that'll be good enough to keep Sam Jordan at bay. Or are we going to see the same stiff defence that we saw? And little dummy, little dummy there from Sam Jordan, trying to upset Jack Southfield's rhythm. This is brilliant Porsche Cup racing. These cars, of course, race in every key motorsport region around the world. We saw the Porsche Carrera Cup Asia champion crowned over the weekend in Florian Latour. Of course, a very competitive Carrera Cup Great Britain championship as well, with many top names. Adam Smalley, of course, the Porsche Great Britain Junior, having a fantastic year, and of course former Carrera Cup Great Britain champion Sam Jordan is not a Carrera Cup Great Britain champion, but he wants to be the champion of... he spun! Sam Jordan has spun it coming out of Redgate. He tried to make the move happen and just loops it on the power there. So close, and yet so far for Sam Jordan. Oh dear. Well, so that gives Jack Southfield a bit of breathing space at the front, in second place, and unfortunately that drops Sam Jordan all the way back to 7th. He does have a 10-second gap back to Sophia Redpath, who sits in 8th right now. But now your battle for the podium. Southfield looking comfortable-ish in second now, and the battle comes down to third now between Sedgley and Nathan Forster. Forster in the number 52 car there, the black, light blue and white machine. So this is what happens then, riding on the chopper cam. Sam Jordan, the door is wide open. Jordan gets it up the inside. They just touch ever so slightly, and that unsettles the car as Jordan's coming onto power, and you've got a fairly instant throttle response. These are normally aspirated 4-litre flat six engines. When you ask for the power is there straight away. So when the power comes in, you can easily loop it around, and that was just enough to lighten up the car. Round he went and off the road. So Southfield, nothing really he could do. In fact, he made the error, left the door open. Southfield left room. There was nothing untoward there, and just a little unlucky break there for Sam Jordan. Had to go for it. I mean, any racer would have gone for that gap. It was half the width of the East Midlands there. So just under 7 minutes to go then in this first race of the day. Remember, we've got another 30-minute race coming up for you right after this, and we'll see if that mixes up the order a little bit. There's a few drivers who had a difficult first lap who might be in the conversation if they can get a clean run of things in race 2. So Adam Holloway leads in the AM class in a fairly uneventful fashion, but that's what you want. You don't want eventful when you're in the lead of a motor race. Holloway leading by 1.7 seconds from Oliver Ettridge, who in turn has opened up a big gap back to third place. John Higgins Jr., who's still keeping Johnny Elia at bay for third place. So fairly steady in the AM class right now. I mean, but in the Porsche 992 Cups, the Pro class, well, it's been a little bit more of a firecracker race, and the battle for the last spot on the podium is on. Sedgley holds on to it for now, but number 52 Nathan Foster showing every bit of motivation to try and pinch that podium position at the last moment. Now Johnny Elia trying to make a move on John Higgins Jr., who, your eyes do not deceive you, has changed colour over the last few laps. That might just be his livery loading up there. Now, Johnny Elia tries to make a little bit of a move. Higgins shuts the door on Elia. So that battle rages on. That's also for the podium place. Elia trying to force Higgins Jr. into a mistake, but it's just not happening. Higgins just so steady under pressure. 5 minutes to go then here in race 1 here in the Porsche Esports Sprint Challenge Great Britain, in conjunction with Porsche Cars Great Britain and Motorsport UK, the governing body for motorsport here in the United Kingdom. And of course, there's all kinds of motorsport you can get involved with. Go onto the Motorsport UK website, look at how you can get involved. You don't even have to be behind the wheel. You could be a rally co-driver, you can be a marshal, you can be a medic, anything you wish to. There is opportunities in motorsport to suit your personal skill set and your personal interest. So do get in touch and get on the Motorsport UK website, or write to them. Send a good old-fashioned letter. That gets more attention nowadays than it ever used to. Everyone expects an email. Write a letter if you want something to happen. So just over 4 minutes to go in this Porsche Esports Sprint Challenge Great Britain Race 1 from Donington Park Grand Prix circuit. Race 2 coming up now. The Porsche 992 Pro cars making their way through on the AM class Caymans. They make quick work of that, going past the 48 of James Foster. So Nathan Foster passes James Foster. I wonder if any relation. So Leighton Austin, what's happening to him? Car number 33, he's back in 8th position at this moment in time. One of the 992 Cup cars coming through. Oh, that's a little bit late there from Jack Southfield, wasting no time. Really aggressive there, Southfield. Meanwhile, through the phase of traffic, Nathan Foster had lost the scent of Daniel Sedgley, but the scent came straight back again as the phases of traffic just come back and forth. This is proper downtown rush hour traffic here for our pro class drivers to get through, and spare a thought for the AMs as well. They're running their race. They've got to keep their eyes forward and back to see when there's drivers coming through. The iRacing simulator gives an automatic blue flag. It will come up in the corner of the screen, so the drivers don't need to look at the marshal's point like they would in an outdoor race. It pops up on their screen, so it's an automatic thing, so they can see it nice and easily. So 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go. Can Sedgley hang on to this podium? It would be a well-earned podium. A little bit of controversy there after some bits and pieces of contract and some damage to the rear of his car, but he's hanging on for now is Sedgley. Foster's going to chase him all the way. In the AMs, it's still Holloway, Ettridge and Higgins Jr., your podium right there. But our leader, Will Eatwell, I feel like we haven't mentioned him much because he's been so smooth and so fantastic out at the front of the field. Number 54, Will Eatwell, dominating this race. He's about 9 seconds to the good. Now I think we're just going to have just 2 laps to go here. Going round in about, just around a minute and a half. So yes, we will just stretch we'll just stretch another lap here. So 2 laps to go here at Donington Park. Hopefully the drivers have put enough fuel in, because we're going to go quite deep into overtime. A lot of it depends on when the driver sees the comes on to their final lap, and when the leading driver takes the checkered flag, can sometimes force an extra lap. As these, oh dearie me, that is one of the Cabins 48, James Foster, taking out one of the Pro Class 992s. That's not in the form book. That's Kieran Sharp getting unceremoniously dumped into the gravel trap. Luckily, he's got going and he's still in 7th place right now. Sam Jordan goes up into 6th after his earlier issue, his little slip off and the exit of Redgate. But our leader coming around now towards the final part of the lap, on his penultimate lap of the race. This has been a masterclass from the number 54, Will Eatwell. 9 seconds to the good from Jack Southfield as we head in to the Melbourne Hairpin for the penultimate time then. And just looking, you know, when a driver's just on it, when they don't look an inch out of place, they're making their way through traffic with what seems like just aplomb and ease. And on to the final lap then he goes with just 13 seconds on the clock. Eatwell onto the final lap here at Donington Park, and every bit of passing traffic is a potential tripping point, a potential tripping hazard. But Eatwell will know all about that, and he'll just be giving it a wide berth. He's got plenty time in hand here. 9 seconds for Eatwell to enjoy at the front of the field, up the hill towards Schwantz Curve. A man who knew a thing or two about winning on 2 wheels, Kevin Schwantz, and then up through McLean's. Nearly there for the 54 of Will Eatwell. Adam Holloway, again, an equally perfect drive at the front of the field in the AM class in the Cabins, car number 81. He's pulled out a 2.3 second advantage over Oliver Ettridge. So he's looking strong right now. Just 1 lap to go for him as the 54, our race leader, Will Eatwell, makes a move. Nice, firm, decisive move there in traffic. Goes through at Goddard's, at Fogarty. We're nearly at Goddard's. 2 more corners to go. I went early there. Oh, problem for Dan Blake on the last lap. He's off at the Fogarty S's. Oh dear, oh dear. But Will Eatwell, round he comes, around the final corner then. Checkered flag is in the air. Number 54, Will Eatwell wins here in the Porsche Esports Sprint Challenge, Great Britain. And now we wait for car 81, our AM class winner. And he's on to a bit of a victory lap here is Adam Holloway. He's got a good lap. In fact, he's finished the other side of the of our leader. So Holloway can't be topped here in the AM class in car number 81. A really solid drive from Adam Holloway. Ettridge in second and John Higgins in third. But this is what happened to Dan Blake. Gets into it with... Can't quite pick that car number there of who was involved in that little incident, but oh dear, not good stuff there at the Fogarty S's, but sometimes can happen in the last lap of a tense motor race like this one. So Fogarty S's for the final time then for Adam Holloway. And a perfect performance in his Porsche Cayman 718 Club Sport with MR package, the Manti Racing package. Oh, Leighton Austin. Dear me, Leighton Austin getting dumped on the final lap as well. Bit of contact to the rear there of his number 33 Cayman. That wasn't what you like to see, but checker flag out at last then for Adam Holloway in his Porsche 718 Cayman. He wins here in the AM class in race 1 of the day at Donington Park. So fantastic stuff there. Both two masterclasses really from our two class winners. They were in their own, really in their own division, particularly our pro class winner Will Eatwell. Congratulations to him for that dominant performance. So here are your results then. Will Eatwell, your winner by 9.4 seconds from Jack Southfield. Daniel Sedgley hung on to get that last spot on the podium. Then it was Nathan Foster in 4th, and Seb Hawkins rounds out the top 5. Sam Jordan came home in 6th after a little bit of a slip-off at Redgate about midway through the race. Kieran Sharp was 7th, Sophia Redpath came home in 8th, and Thor Tulo recovers to 9th place in the pro class. Then in AM, it was Adam Holloway who led the way. It says he's won there by a lap. Wasn't quite the whole story. Won by 2.3 seconds in the end. Oliver Ettridge, he finished just behind the leader, Will Eatwell, in which case that's why it shows as a lap down. John Higgins Jr., great podium for him. He was under the cosh the whole time from Johnny Elia in 4th. And George Cullen was 5th. Then it was Adam Grebson, Dan Blake, Toby Andrews, Adam Locke, and James Foster rounds out the top 10 with a fairly eventful end to the race for him in the 48 car. So another 30-minute race looks ahead of us, but it was a problem early on for Sophia Redpath. Very strong racer, of course, being upgraded to the pro class after round 1, so a change of car for her. And yeah, got into it a little bit there with Thor Tulo and had to face a bit of a... Oh, and it wasn't... was it for Tulo? No, it was the... it was, yes, I was right the first time. Thor Tulo in that pink, blue and black machine, who made full use of Donington Park's extensive grasslands here. But this is where it really came down to it with Sebastian Hawkins, who got clipped by Daniel Sedgley. Quarter panel there, boff. And all the drivers there lucky to get away with minimal damage after that little incident there at the Melbourne hairpin. Running on deep there for the 69 of Christopher Humphreys. Not a day, not a race for him to remember really, but he'll get another go at it in just a moment with the second 30-minute race. And this, oh, what drama. Number 19, Sam Jordan trying to make the move there on Southfield. Couldn't quite keep it down, and oh, not the best of rejoins to the circuit, right in the path of Sebastian Hawkins. Luckily they get away with it there. Whoa, and a spin late on in the race for car 03 Sophia Redpath. Rare mistake from Sophia. But in the later phase of the race, well, came down to the traffic, and one thing you don't really see is the slower class car getting into the back of a faster class car. Odd one there, and a little bit of a misdemeanor for the 48 of James Foster. 23 Kieran Sharp had to quickly get back up to pace, but a lot of time lost there for both drivers. There might well be some discussion in the virtual paddock. It can sometimes be the case. Lots of switching about in traffic. A bit of a misunderstanding there. Dan Blake getting turned around at the Fogarty S's. Quite a little bit of a pinch point there, particularly when you throw in multi-class traffic into the mix. But the 81 car in the AM class, your winner is Adam Holloway. What a drive it was from him, and likewise the 54 of Will Eatwell, your winner in the pro class, who, as you can see there in that shot, right in behind a Ram winner, which of course is why our Ram winner, Adam Holloway, got a bit of a victory lap to enjoy. So, great stuff so far here at Donington Park, but the racing continues. Great to hear so many of you joining in here on RaceSpotTV. Thanks for writing in on our live chat. Do get in touch here in the commentary booth. Hello to Jilted Gaming, Andrew Jones, and Ryan Walker. Ryan, the other half of Double Scotch, as he is known. So great to see you watching, Ryan. And hello to Fritz, who says he would lend £10 to Willie. Well, he's trustworthy and a great family man. Well, you can't really get a better endorsement than that, can you? So, next race coming up, 30 minutes the distance once again. And Will Eatwell be hoping to repeat his performance from race 1. It was mighty impressive there. Just cleared away from the field. In this type of racing, you really don't see people pulling away to the tune of 9.4 seconds. So we've got 30-minute races coming up, and remember, big prizes on offer here. A half-day driving experience at the Porsche Experience Centre, Silverstone, with thanks to Porsche Cars Great Britain. The pro drivers, the top 3, will participate in the Porsche 911 experience, and the AM drivers in the Porsche Cayman experience. And I tell you what, in the 60th anniversary of the Porsche 911, what an experience to have the new 992 generation, just ratcheting up the level of performance again and again, and also the level of refinement as well. One of my commentary colleagues, John Hindhoff, he's very proud of his Porsche 992 GTS, which I'm incredibly jealous of. I won't lie. It's in a beautiful dark blue color, manual gearbox, which is a bit of a rarity nowadays. And yeah, what a machine that is. He hasn't given me a shot yet, but maybe one day. But also, I tell you what I can report. I've had a go in the Porsche Cayman GT4 Club Sport with the manual gearbox on the roads around Berkshire, and it's an absolute honey. I'll be honest, it's a real cracker. The current version of the road car runs a 4-litre flat 6. The car we have here on iRacing is the previous model, which runs to the old 3.8-litre flat 6. Ever so slight differences in those engines. And of course, out on the street and the racetracks, we now have the Porsche Cayman GT4 RS, which I haven't had the chance to sample yet, but I've heard it's a bit of a beast. So one to go and check out at your local Porsche centre. So race 2 will be live in just a short moment. And great to see as well in our virtual paddock too some chat between the drivers. Next up, 2 weeks time, we've got the Snetterton 300 circuit, and then we finish it. Well, it seems a tradition here in the United Kingdom to finish a championship at Brands Hatch. How many dramatic finishes have we seen to championships on 2 and 4 wheels at the Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit? That will be November the 12th, so it's a quite sharp end to the season. We get a week off next week, and then 2 weeks time we're at Snetterton, and then no break before heading into Brands Hatch for the 4th and final round of this Porsche Esports Sprint Challenge Great Britain. Yeah, it's coming back to the virtual paddock. Very honourable James Foster saying his apologies to Kieran Sharp, who's saying that, sorry, that was my fault. You can't say fairer than that, folks. It's good spirits here in the Porsche Esports Sprint Challenge Great Britain paddock. And hello to Fritz again. Thank you for your kind words. Glad to hear that you are enjoying the action here at Donington Park, a circuit that's well, it began as a motorcycle racing circuit actually back in 1931, so it's one of Britain's oldest circuits. it was the brainchild of a certain Fred Craner. That's where the Craner curves comes from. Held its first Grand Prix here all the way back in 1935. So huge heritage, huge history, and really came to the fore under the ownership of the great Tom Wheatcroft, who brought motorcycle Grand Prix racing here in 1987. World Superbike's first ever race was here in 1988. But for many, the most memorable memory here at Donington Park was the European Grand Prix in the pouring rain in 1993, won by the late great Ayrton Senna. Who could forget that? Well, drivers are now into the new session and into a warm-up, just getting themselves acclimatised, ready to go for this second race of the day. 30 minutes the distance. Looks pretty much perfect conditions at a virtual Donington Park. That's one of the other great things about the simulator. You can quite genuinely guarantee the weather. You can set the weather how you wish in the simulator, and you would not believe just how accurately those track temperatures simulate what they would do in the real world. Is that if the track temperature gets excessively high, the grip just falls away, and it can change the lap time by multiple seconds a lap. So really, I mean, the technology behind it boggles my little brain, it must be said. So with the changing track conditions, the drivers will be just getting themselves up to speed, just getting a feel for what the grip is like there out on the circuit. And that's a key thing. Some drivers in these multi-race meetings, some drivers like to go and have a rest, others like to get straight back out there on track. 33 degrees Celsius on the track, 18 degrees in the air. Pretty strong wind, 25 kilometers an hour there in mid-afternoon in a simulated 15th of May here in the iRacing simulator. But you can get in there on the iRacing simulator, adjust the session exactly as you want it. Do you want it sunny? Do you want it cloudy? The only thing we don't have yet is rain, but iRacing software developers are working day and night developing that technology and optimizing it for home simulator equipment. So 33 degrees Celsius, not just heading towards the higher end of track temperature. If it continues to climb, well, it may just get a little bit greasy out there for our drivers, but the race meeting in the middle of May at Donington Park, you could have 3 or 4 degrees track temperature, or indeed you could have up to 25 degrees track temperature or so. You can get a really mixed bag of anything racing in the UK at that time of year. So nearly time to go then for the second of the 30-minute races here in the Porsche Esports Sprint Challenge Great Britain. Do let us know where you're watching from in the world and who are you cheering from, and most importantly, what are your race snacks? What are your go-to snacks when you watch racing? For me, I've run out of snacks, unfortunately, here in the commentary box, but it was a little pre-race snack of some cheese and onion crisps. So it's a good job I'm in the commentary box on my own because my breath now smells. So the drivers making their way on to the grid, ready for action. Already the lights are coming up. Car number 54, our winner from race 1, Will Eatwell, will lead us away into 30 minutes of racing. Green flag in the air. Race 2 is underway here at Donington Park. Up towards Redgate they go for the first time in this race. They're shuffling for position. Oh, there's contact. Oh, it's Sedgley off the road again. Sedgley's been nerfed off the road. Oh dear, his car is off the road everywhere on the exit of Redgate, but no problem for Will Eatwell at the front of the field. But we'll dissect all of that as we get through, but lots to unpick there in that first corner. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. And of course that puts several of the pro cars out of position. Meanwhile, in the Caymans for the AM class, on the right hand side of your shot, your race 1 winner, car 81, Adam Holloway, is under pressure there from Ettridge, and Ettridge goes for the race lead there in the 57 car. So new leader in AM. It's Oliver Ettridge who's up for this one. Great start from Johnny Elia in the 11/10 racing car. He's going to go past Holloway as well. So, oh, Holloway's got a slowdown penalty. Holloway has got an iRacing slowdown penalty. He's having to dab at the brakes there to serve that time penalty. So he's cut the track at some point and he has to serve that penalty while driving along. It's not a stop and go or anything like that, but Holloway losing huge amount of track position there. Meanwhile, it's all going on in the pros as well. Fortulo is getting his elbows out there with Sebastian Hawkins. Oh, it's all kicking off here. Whoa, the number 27 off the road. That's, oh dear, it's Dan Blake again at that last part of the circuit. Oh dear me, it's all going on here as the 03 Sophia Ridpath, another difficult start to the race for her. So her initiation to the pro class not being a friendly one, unfortunately, for Sophia. Right, so car 90 then, Thortulo, he's in 7th in class trying to chase down Seb Hawkins, who's all over the back of the 23. Kieran Sharp in 5th. And whoa, there's Sharp running off the road, just about holds it together. Yes, he does. So Kieran Sharp there hanging on just about, with Hawkins right in there behind him and Thortulo in close proximity as well. Will Eatwell leads then in the pro class from Jack Southfield. Sam Jordan is in 3rd, so oh my, we're going to have a round 2 Southfield versus Jordan there, I think. Game on in that race. And in the AM class, it's 11/10's driver Johnny Elia who leads the way in the AM class in the Caymans. He's gone 0.2 of a second ahead of Oliver Ettridge now. So Adam Holloway, after that mistake on lap 1, he's down in 6th. So our winner in the AM class in race 1, he's in 6th. And actually it was Redpath coming through the field on Ettridge. They get together a little bit now. How does this all shake out? And Elia tries to find his way through. Oh, it's Redpath getting very aggressive there coming through traffic, and Elia, I think, just spotted his opportunity, or did spot his opportunity. And meanwhile, actually, that's oh dear, Elia getting barged along there by the 154 of Grevson. So Ettridge back into the lead then. So that was Ridpath just shuffling the order up as she came past in her pro class 992 Cup machine. Fastest lap of the race, the first time we've seen it stripped away from Will Eatwell. Well, it's gone the way of Jack Southfield, who has the fastest lap of the race so far in this second encounter, and he's all over the back of Will Eatwell. There are, don't forget, runaway race leader in race winner in race 1, cleared away to a 9.4 second win. Right now, that is not 9.4 seconds. That was not even 0.94 of a second. So Southfield right on the tail of Eatwell, and Sam Jordan not quite able to run the pace right now of these leading two. But remember, in these higher track temperature conditions, 30 minutes, the tyre won't be in its optimum throughout that 30 minutes. The iRacing tyre model has been heavily worked on over the last year or so to bring it into a really realistic place. So the car number 81 still shedding time. Adam Holloway, can you believe this car was the winner in 10 minutes ago in the first race, and now he's down in 7th. This motor racing can change so quickly, and especially in a field so closely contested as the AM class here. We saw much bigger gaps spreading out in the pro class. So 25 minutes to go then, and Holloway has got it all to do. If he wants to make it 2 from 2 AM wins, well, he's got a heck of a long way to go and a lot of overtaking to make. Hello to SC Squash and the Jilted Gaming as well. Great to hear from you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Great to hear you're enjoying the action, and what action it is. 2 different types of Porsche, but throw up slightly different types of racing. 24.5 minutes to go. Plenty more to get our teeth into here as Holloway trying to put the pressure on the 555 there of Adam Locke. I'm a big fan of that racing number as a Colin McRae fan. Of course, 555, that was the number emblazoned on the side of his car. He did like a Porsche as well. Raced a Porsche a couple of times. So, being chased down by the 89 of George Cullinan's in there as well at the back of shot, waiting for his opportunity. Holloway has a little sneaking on the inside, but can't quite get a move done. The 555 of Adam Locke hangs on for now. And the longer Holloway's stuck here for, the lower his chances will be of running down race leader Johnny Elia. So Elia is now back into the lead for the second time. So Elia and Ettridge are switching the lead in back and forth and back and forth. So it's all happening here as Holloway has a little look up the inside. It's close. But they give each other really good racing room, racing respect. As a drag race now down towards Redgate, you can sort of take two different entry lines, but they kind of converge in the same place. And good racecraft there from Adam Locke, who blocks the line off a little bit. Yes, he does. Hangs on to that position as they rush down the Craner curves. You're just hanging on by your fingernails. Is Holloway going to make that move around Craner? Surely not. Into the braking zone for the old hairpin. 2x2 surely doesn't go. It does. Wow, what a move there from Holloway. That was brave, but very clean, hard racing. Good respect there from the 555 car of Adam Locke. And Cullinan, he goes to try and pick the pocket of Locke now as they come through McLean's. Up the hill towards Coppice they go. And Locke still on the inside, but Cullinan, he's going to try and hook it all the way around the outside, and he does. So does he. Is going to be a side-by-side draft. Great stuff in the AM class with these GT4 718 Caymans. And the 33 there of Leighton Austin, he's in there going, can I join in? This looks fun. Meanwhile, it's all very serene at the front of the field in the pro class. Will Eatwell leads the way by 0.6 of a second from Jack Southfield. There goes Leighton Austin, a big move up the inside at the Melbourne hairpin and gets into the side there of Locke. Oh dear, they make a bit of contact. Right, this is what happened at the start. So Sophia Ridpath actually struggles to get off the line, ends up in the middle of the Caymans, drives Cullinan straight off the road, then her teammates off the road as well. It's Sedgley. Goodness gracious. So the front running Cayman's getting a little bit muddled up there with the tail end of the Pro Class 992 Cups. Right, so that was what went on at the start of the race. Unfortunately, Sophia Ridpath is out of the race. She has retired and will go no further in this event. Oh, wide there. Just runs it in too deep there, does Leighton Austin, and has to give best to Adam Locke. That's the battle for 8th place, don't forget, but they're playing for keeps like it's down for the win on the last lap. But at the front, Johnny Elia starting to accumulate a little bit of a gap over Oliver Ettridge in the AM class. That gap is now up to 0.7 of a second, so what a win this could be if Johnny Elia can keep this up in the 11/10 racing Porsche Cayman 718 GT4. So this is what happened to Dan Blake, who loses it on his own. And did he get a clip there from Adam Holloway? Whoa, there's another car off the road there. So it's all arms and elbows for the Caymans a little bit further back in the AM class. So Elia, then car number 6, leading the way for 11/10 racing. Now, how are the drivers split into classes, the Pro and AM classes? Well, the Pro class, they will drive just the Porsche GT3 Cup 992 if they have ever reached over 3,500 iRating. And iRating is something where you're given a ranking based on your performances. This performance, oh my word, Christopher Humphries has the mother and father of all moments there and ends up hard in the fence. Oh dear, a race meeting to forget then for Christopher Humphries, and he takes the tow back to the pit lane. But yes, the Pro class, if you've gone over 3,500 iRating in your iRacing career, you will be put in the Pro class automatically. So that's based on your race results in iRacing. It's an amazing system. You always get paired up in a race with the drivers most closely linked to you in ability. Sophia Ridpath, another spin, and styles it out into a nice 360 as well. Cool points for style there for Sophia, as there our AM leaders in the Caymans went through. So in the AM class is any driver who's reached up to 3,499 iRating or below. So that's how they are split up. So car number 5, John Higgins Jr., big move there up the inside of the 48 of James Foster, who we saw wasn't backwards and coming forwards to say the least in race 1, but John Higgins Jr., hard racer as well, raced very successfully in the Scottish Motor Racing Club Esports Championship at Knockhill. So this is your AM train, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 in one bunch. What's the collective noun for a group of Caymans? A collective of Caymans? Cusp of Caymans? Write us in on the live chat here on RaceSpotTV. We'd love to hear from you. Car number 15, Seb Hawkins. He's holding 5th right now, but Kieran Sharp right on to his tail right now as they come through the chicane of Fogarty and then down the hill towards Melbourne. Sometimes you can see dive bomb moves into there, but you've got to be careful, particularly in these 992 Cup cars, because as you come over the crest, if you're on the brakes, that change in elevation can make it very, very easy to lock up the front brakes. And you basically, it's like if you've ever hit the brakes on ice in a car and the car just goes straight forward. It's kind of similar feeling until you lift back off the brake and reapply it. So at the front of the field, Will Eatwell is not charging away at all as fast as he was in race 1. He still leads, of course, but only by 9/10 of a second. Remember, race 1, he won by 9.4 seconds, completely dominant. And remember, we will see our Pro Class cars catch the AM Class Cayman GT4s. They are not the same level of performance. They're about 5 seconds a lap difference from the fastest Pro to the fastest AM. It comes down to really is a little bit better aerodynamic downforce on the 992 GT3 Cup car and about 40 horsepower or so more for the 992 Cup cars. John Higgins Jr. trying to make his way forward. He's in 4th at the moment, got on the podium in race 1. Can he do the same here in race 2? Well, he's making sure he is well known in the mirrors of the 154 black and orange car of Adam Grevson, and Oliver Ettridge a little bit further up the road. He'll be quite glad to see this pair battling away behind him, because usually when drivers are battling away for position, it will slow the lap time down considerably. So Ettridge can keep his sights firmly set on Johnny Elia in car number 6. A driver who has got a lot of experience in the Porsche Club of Great Britain sim racing championship. Great community of sim racers there, all Porsche lovers, of course. So if you're a member of the Porsche Club of Great Britain and you're a sim racer, go and join the happy family. They're a great bunch, great friendly bunch, and very much the true spirit of sim racing is very much about community and fun, but stiff competition as well. Speaking of stiff competition, oh, big defensive move there from Adam Grevson, but John Higgins is going to go and loop it right around the outside. Surely can't make that work well. He's got it alongside as they head up the hill now towards Goddard's. Is this going to be the move of the day for John Higgins? They're still not touching. That's great, respectful racing. Great stuff from John Higgins. Number 5 moves up into 3rd position. Had to go risky, had to go around the outside, but got it done. He's up into a podium spot and now can set his sights on Oliver Ettridge in 2nd. So, fastest lap of the race still in the hands of Jack Southfield. He didn't manage to get the job done for the win in race 1, but I tell you what, he's in the position here to have a go in race 2 as we ride with James Foster. Great eye shot here for what it's like to go flat out around Donington Park in a Porsche 718 Cayman GT4 Club Sport. Round they go out of McLean's and then up towards Coppers. Really tricky corner here, just a little bit of brakes and you're looking on the right hand side going, where's the apex? Oh, it's somewhere over there. And then get on the power as early as possible, carry that speed out as well. Really nice smooth stuff here from the 48 car of James Foster. Then it's down towards the Fogarty S's, down to hit the brakes, down the PDK gearbox, clip the apex on the left, clip it on the right. Don't get a slow down penalty though. If you cut that chicane, you will get a slow down penalty. You can just see those who have seen a PDK gear lever on this sort of generation of Cayman, you look down there, it's mapped all in the iRacing simulator. Exactly how the real car would look is the same inside and out, then up the hill hard on the brakes, down uphill a little bit for Goddard's, clip the curb on the inside, then straight the wheel up hard on the power, go go go, and then in chase of the car ahead, up the gearbox. You can hear that flat 6 singing in the background. It just amazes me how accurate the sounds are here in this iRacing simulator. If you're wondering, can I get it on a PlayStation or an Xbox? Sadly, you can't. You need to get a gaming PC to play it. But you can go onto the iRacing website, and it has actually a test there, so you can run a test on your own computer and check if it will run the simulator or not. You'd be surprised, actually. I used to run it on a laptop, put it that way. So it can be done, and the level of entry is one of the easiest, most accessible forms of motorsport to get involved with is esports. You can find more ways to get involved in motorsport, not just as a competitor, but in many other ways: marshalling, co-driving in rallies, organising, anything you have an interest or skill for. Get in touch with Motorsport UK, and they will be able to point you in the right direction to get involved in this wonderful, wonderful sport that has some fantastic characters. Today I was at a rallycross meeting at Knockhill at my local circuit, and I tell you what, did we have some characters in that race meeting. Great entertainment of all types in motorsport. Now, game on here as Higgins is making a move for second place. So Ettridge is under pressure now as Higgins goes up the inside. Oh, a little bit of a blink with the internet there. It's a little bit of side-to-side contact. Oh, Grevson has to turn it very, very tight to avoid contact with Ettridge, but this is a three-way battle for second place now. Higgins, Higgins goes to cover it, and whoa, flashing the lights there is Ettridge, and Grevson's now going to have a go. They're all bumping and barging. Fantastic stuff here from these top 4. And then the 48 of James Foster, who was our onboard taxi driver there, he goes, give me a piece of that, and he goes past Grevson for 4th place. Then Grevson back to 5th, and remember the car in 6th, your winner in race 1, Adam Holloway, he's going to come in for the fun as well. 12 minutes to go here at Donington Park. John Higgins Jr. up into 2nd, but already just in that half a lap, the gap up to the leader, Johnny Elia, has gone from 1.6 to 2.6 seconds in that phase. And you know that the 57 of Oliver Ettridge in that blue car, he's not going to take that lying down. It was a great move there from John Higgins Jr. Again, very, very clean, but question mark over John Higgins Jr. his internet connection, his car blinking in and out. If that keeps going, the simulator could kick him out here. If his internet connection fails to a certain degree or stutters enough, the simulator will take him out. So that is when, if you're driving along and you hear the car starting to misfire, kind of a similar idea. You don't really want that to happen, but for rivals behind, it can be very, very off-putting as well. But Ettridge trying his best not to be perturbed by that blinking number 5 car of John Higgins Jr. So 2.8 seconds is the gap up to the 11/10 car of Johnny Elia, and Ettridge here, but he's trying to communicate something that is for sure. Question coming in from Andrew Jones: are we expecting pit stop? No, no pit stops. And John Higgins himself on the RaceSpot TV live chat here on YouTube. Hello to you, John. One of the driver who's won at the very top level in Legends Racing internationally with the Burnett Motorsport crew, who I can report have the best catering in all of motorsport. Burnett Motorsport, brilliant Legends team and a stalwart of the Scottish Legends Championship. But 10 minutes to go, and John Higgins Jr. is now he's threatening to pull away here from Ettridge, but he's not actually closing the gap down to Johnny Elia at all. In fact, that gap is growing, if anything. Meanwhile, the 48 of James Foster trying to defend from Grevson, but Grevson has a big dive up the inside. Foster sees it coming and opens the door to avoid contact. Great heads-up racing, just fantastic racecraft here from our AM drivers. But here comes Grevson. Ooh, no. Foster shuts the door, and I tell you what, this is talk about in race 1, well, race 2, it's been a completely different ball game. Although it does make the overtake there up into 5th place for Holloway, but then has a moment, and Grevson's going to have another go back at him. They're going side by side. It's a good job they both got black and orange paint, because they trade it there as they go down Craner curves, and then on the brakes for the old hairpin, which is fast corner there, downhill, a little bit off camber to go underneath the bridge. And Holloway, this was not in the game plan for him after a win in race 1. He'll be dropping valuable points if he finishes where he is right now. Well, Elia, he's cruising. He's up to 3.4 seconds at the front of the field, and I know a lot of his Porsche Club of Great Britain club members will be cheering him on at home, and he is on the ball in this second race. 3.5 seconds to the good right now. Update on the pros. Well, Will Eatwell had been holding Jack Southfield at a kind of close distance away, around 9/10 of a second for most of the race, but he's now started to really open up that gap and managed the tyre well. He's opened up the gap to 2 seconds now from Jack Southfield, who in turn has got Sam Jordan all over the back of him. I do wonder if that's what's maybe just taken the wind out Southfield's sails, with having to defend from Sam Jordan. And of course, it will not be long before the drivers hit in the Pro class, hit quite heavy traffic with the AN class Caymans, who, as we've seen over the last few laps, in a very, very fierce race of their own. 7.5 minutes to go then here today at Donington Park for round 2 of the Porsche Esports Sprint Challenge Great Britain. Remember, 2 weeks time, same time, we go to the Snetterton 300 circuit. So we go to the flat expanses of Norfolk and another historic British racing circuit, which should provide some good action there before completing the season in 3 weeks time at Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit. Another good thing about simulator racing, you don't have to worry about noise restrictions, so we can run the Grand Prix circuit as much as we like. Southfield has rallied a little bit now. He started to put a bit of a gap between himself and Sam Jordan in 3rd place in the Pro class. So Southfield got the fastest lap of the race on his to his credit as well. And remember, this is absolutely equal racing, all of the drivers in each class in identical cars. But when we say identical, we mean identical. They are set up with a fixed setup which is given to the drivers by the series organisers, and they have to run that. So you can't get Roland Kusmol or Norbert Singer on the phone to set up your car. Everybody has the same stuff: the tyre life, the brake pads, everything. There is no shortcut to speed here on the simulator. Meanwhile, battle for second place in AMS, side by side as John Higgins Jr. getting into it there with the 57 of Oliver Ettridge, and Higgins Jr. is, his internet is hanging on by a thread. Choose kind of got to back out of it every time we see Higgins' car just blink. It is incredible technology. We can race on the internet, and actually doesn't, this sort of blinking doesn't seems to be plaguing John Higgins Jr.'s internet connection at the moment. So perhaps a phone call to the internet provider tomorrow to get a boost or something might do the trick there. Just over 5 minutes to go then. Eatwell is in position now at the front of the field to win in Pro and to put 2 wins on the board here at Donington Park. Meanwhile, in the AMS, Johnny Elia, well, what a drive this has been from the 11/10th racing driver. 3 seconds to the good. And still Holloway and Grevson are getting into it as they come through. You don't want to be rubbing and barging on the straight. That's a recipe for disaster. And here we go. Your leader, Will Eatwell, is coming up behind these two. So this is the problem then for Will Eatwell, our leader. This is where the nerves are bound to be jangling away as he tries to make his way through. He's going to try and move up the inside now of Grevson. Can he get past Holloway as well? No. So he splits them up. So an opportunity now for Holloway to try and make a bit of a break. Now Eatwell's going to try and get through at Craner, where it's so narrow, and you're trying to hang on there. But not a bit of it. Not a bit of it. And in fact, Holloway gives him really good space and room, compromises his own speed just a little bit there to ensure the leader gets through cleanly. That's great respect and fantastic quality of motor racing in this championship, I must say. So Oliver Ettridge then trying to get second place back. He was second in race 1. Can he get it again here in race 2 in that blue number 57 car? But we've seen John Higgins Jr. I don't think we've seen anyone pass him and make the move stick yet. He's just been so good at defending his position, placing his car in exactly the right place and not allowing any move of attack from his rival. As I say that, there's the door wide open. Oh, and Ettridge gets into the back of Higgins. Oh, dearie me. They managed to hold on somehow. They get back going again, back on the power. And that is not what our overall leader, Will Eatwell, wants to say, who gets up the inside then of Ettridge, who gives him, again, really good space. And this has worked out quite well for John Higgins Jr. because Eatwell will be able to get on the power, use that superior horsepower of the 911 and swoop by on the straight and not interrupt Higgins' path there. So Higgins gains a couple of car lengths on Ettridge in that little exchange. 2 minutes and 51 seconds to go then in this race. And Eatwell, well, he's been the master through traffic. His gap was around 2.5 seconds. It's now over 4. So Eatwell has just carved through the traffic. And such an important skill in multi-class sports car racing to be able to get through on traffic, or if you're in the slower class, to be able to let the traffic through cleanly. As Jack Southfield trying to make his way through and spins. Jack Southfield from second position spins and Sam Jordan goes through. Oh dear me, so Sam Jordan gets his retribution over Southfield in the closing stages, and just a trip up in traffic is all it took there for Southfield, and he drops down to third place. Whoa! Meanwhile, it's all kicking off as Grevson's getting passed by a couple of 992s pushing their way through. Oh my word. That indeed is Southfield with Seb Hawkins right behind him. So for Johnny Elia in the lead of the AM class, his gap has come down quite a bit. It's come... Nervy stuff. He's just had the pro class leader Will Eatwell go through on him, so he won't have to go an extra lap. So fuel wise he should be fine. He knows exactly what to put in the tank after race 1 also. So just over a minute to go then in at this race. This has been a real thriller here in this second race of the day. 30 minutes of action, whoa, here at Donington Park as the traffic giving and taking in both classes, as Seb Hawkins, whoa, has to go around the outside of Holloway and indeed of Foster around at Schwantz Curve. That was a gutsy move that Kevin Schwantz would approve of. So just 40 seconds to go. Our leader, are we going to get an extra lap here? Where is our leader? Car number 54 of Will Eatwell. He's got a 5.4 second advantage. The traffic has been kind to him. He's negotiated the traffic very well. I think we might well force an extra lap here, will we? It's going to be very tight here actually, if we're going to get an extra lap or not for the 54 of Will Eatwell, who comes up the hill towards Goddard's, and I think so one more lap then to go for our race leader in pro. 5.4 seconds to the good. Johnny Elia, one more lap to go for him. He leads by 2.6 seconds from John Higgins Jr. But all of a sudden, it's clear, wide open spaces for Will Eatwell. This has been a masterclass of driving, and it's going to be two very well deserved wins for Will Eatwell. Thank you so much to you all for writing into us here on RaceSpotTV on the YouTube stream. Very much appreciated. And we will try to get through all of your messages before the end of the broadcast, if we can. But in this week, we'll just leave that in short. Car number 54 will eat well. Then around the Melbourne. See the checkered flag. 2 wins from 2. A perfect day at Donington Park for Will Eat Well, your winner here in the Porsche Esports Sprint Challenge of Great Britain. So after disappointment in race 1, Sam Jordan gets home in 2nd place in his Pro Class car, and your winner in AM for 11/10 Racing, it's Gianluca Elia. Johnny Elia, your winner in the AM class from Oliver Ettridge, who just edges out John Higgins Jr. on the last lap. So what has gone on there then? Ettridge in the 57 car has passed John Higgins Jr. in the 5 for 2nd place on the very last lap. Likewise, Adam Holloway, not his easiest day. He fights his way through though to 4th place on that last lap. Fantastic stuff. Meanwhile, Seb, oh dear. So the 64 of Jack Southfield gets into it big time with Seb Hawkins, who has to do a flick turn and then has to wait for several cars to go by and get back again. Sebastian Hawkins comes home in 7th. That's really a shame for him. Not deserved after fighting hard all race long. Well, oh, what a day. What a day. In Park. So, after 30 minutes of racing, let's have a look then at how they finished. Jordan. Controversial circumstances. Nathan Foster was 4th, Kieran Sharp in 5th, then it was Dan Sedgley in 6th, Seb Hawkins in 7th, Fortulo in 8th, and Sophia Ridpath unfortunately not making it to the flag in the Pro Class. But in the AM, what a win for 11/10 Racing's Johnny Elia in car number 6 by 2.7 seconds by Oliver Ettridge. In 10th, so something not right there. So perhaps a penalty there for Higgins Jr. So that puts Adam Holloway up onto the podium there. Foster in 4th. So what happened there to John Higgins Jr. on that last lap? Could well be an accumulation of incident points there for Higgins Jr. Not the way he would have wanted to finish the day. That is for certain. So 2 cracking races there in the Porsche Club. The Porsche Esports Sprint Challenge Great Britain. But a driver of Porsche Club of Great Britain fame joins me now. Johnny Elia, congratulations. What a win. So Johnny Elia, he may not be able to master the Porsche 718 Cayman GT4, but he's not able to master his microphone at the moment.
Sorry, Peter.
That was. Congratulations. How are you feeling?
Good. Thank you. Yeah, long time coming, I think, that win, as you know, Peter. So that was, enjoyed that one. I couldn't believe it when I got P1 early in the race. The race went on forever.
I bet it's a long 30 minutes around here, actually, to keep it on the straight and narrow. Tell us what it's like battling at the front of the pack there, Johnny, because there seems to be really good, strong racing from several of you. All seem on quite a close pace. Great stuff to watch.
Yeah, no, the racing's been really good in this series. Very, very close, and some of the pace up the front can be quite tough to keep up with. But I think with the Cayman,
I've lost Johnny. We lost you for a second there, Johnny. Yeah, well, I think we're going to have to knock that one on the head, sadly. Johnny Elia, great. Adam Holloway, who had a kind of a day of two halves, it must be said. Adam, welcome to the Porsche Esports Sprint Challenge Great Britain commentary box. Let's start with race 1. That looks plain sailing. Was it as easy as it looked?
No, not at all.
It wasn't.
I got a bit lucky at the start. There was a couple of cup cars that had a bit of a tangle, and then as they were coming back through, I think Oliver behind me got the wrong end of the deal, and that gap that I had at the end came from there. He was matching me the entire way through, so no, hard work the whole way through.
I can imagine. And race 2, it all seemed to go a bit Pete Tong there. What happened in those first few laps?
It was completely on me. I think the hot track caught me by surprise, and I didn't have enough grip going up the hill. Ran wide and let Oliver through, and then cut the corner at the top of the hill because I couldn't see the apex, and made a mess up at the slowdown. And yeah, it was just a bit of a state. But yeah, managed to back through to a reasonable position. I think I ended 4th on track, but I don't know. I think somebody must have got a penalty because it's showing 3rd in iRacing at the minute.
Yeah, it looks like John Higgins had a post-race penalty of some description. We don't know what for yet, but it's showing you classified in 3rd. It's going to be a heck of a championship fight. 2 rounds to go. Snetterton, Brands Hatch. What's the strategy?
Strategy at Snetterton, unfortunately, is to miss it because I've got karting to do that weekend. So unfortunately, I'll be missing that one, which is a shame because I'm in quite a good position. So yeah, I guess I'll see what the table looks like come Brands, and yeah, see what might be possible.
Well, good luck for the karting for that
Thanks.
one. Hopefully the weather holds for you, and if it's indoor, well, that no problem, you can guarantee it. But and we'll see you at Brands. But congratulations on the race 1 and a great fight back in race 2.
Cheers, thank you.
So, Adam Holloway there joining us, a win and a 3rd. I think that's a result he would have taken at the start of the day. That's all we've got time for here today on RaceSpotTV. Remember to join us 2 weeks' time, same time, 8 o'clock UK time. Well, we're into winter hours then, aren't we? Snetterton 300 is our next round for the Porsche Esports Sprint Challenge Great Britain. But from us all here at RaceSpotTV, for myself, Peter Mackay, many thanks for watching and a very good night.